Tonight we'll have a close-up look at the new approach at radio station WUFO and some thoughtful comments on that approach from a community leader.
The local pastors in Buffalo who have been cut off for worship services that were going to the sick to shut in. I disagreed with that decision.
Radio station WUFO, Buffalo's only black-owned station, has changed management after being headed over 15 years by Don Mullins. The new management has initiated an approach it describes as lifestyle radio. General Manager Ray Coleman explains.
Ron, first of all, let me say how thankful I am to have this opportunity to continue to communicate to the marketplace about our plans at WUFO. In terms of what it means to me personally, I feel it gives us an opportunity to start to focus on a new vitality at WUFO Radio. We have an outlook, we have a vision that we think will be very important in the development of our radio station, in the development of our relationships with the Buffalo community, and particularly in the ongoing relationships we've been able to establish with our black community. Our outlook is very positive. We are geared for success. Our parent company, the Sheridan Broadcasting Company, is a very successful broadcasting company. What we are looking to do is to make WUFO Radio very successful in Buffalo. We have a lot of things to do. We've done a lot of things already, and there's a lot more to be done.
Okay, now tell us about some of the new approaches you'll be taking as far as the programming of the radio station itself.
Our first approach in approaching WUFO is, number one, we have brought in a management team and a management style that's very consistent with the Sheridan Broadcasting philosophy. We are geared toward success. In assessing the needs of the radio station, we felt that there was some change in order. Number one, we felt in order to participate in the larger marketplace that we had to make some very basic format changes, which we've done, and we think are very exciting. Number one, lifestyle radio, we feel is exciting. A lot of people have responded to it across the country. And let me tell you a bit about it. Lifestyle radio in most parts of the country is considered homogenized radio or urban contemporary. But what it's primarily geared for is to really make people feel good about the music that they listen to. Our lifestyle radio concept is based on a mixture and a blend of different kinds of music, all that people are comfortable with, so that there's nothing necessarily unique about it. We're looking at bringing R&B, jazz, reggae, some Latin, and particularly oldies like Billie Holiday, Nat Cole, Ella Fitzgerald, Dinah Washington. We want to bring them back because they serve a purpose and a need in the community, which people seem to enjoy, and we want to give that to them again.
Okay, great. Let's talk about what the economics of a radio station means to the community, from the job aspect to the advertising that it generates. How do you feel WUFO fits into that?
Well, WUFO Radio fits very well into this marketplace. Our radio station is a small radio station in the major market, but we think it has enormous impact. A black radio station in a market this size with basically 145,000 black people have some impact in the marketplace. And the radio station is a way of expression for the community. Economically, what we want to do is start to develop a very sound economic base. And one of the ways that we can do that, and one of the best ways we can illustrate that, is by broadening our base so we can appeal to more people and have more people enjoy what we're doing. We think once we have an opportunity to bring our new format in and to have people sample our station, they're going to find that they like us very much.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about, still in the marketplace, but the advertisers that advertise on all the rest of the radio stations, the general radio stations. Is this one impact that you're trying to reach? I know you have a lot of background in that, but do you want to get into specifics about that or not?
Oh, sure, I'd love to. The Buffalo marketplace, from an advertising sales promotion point of view, is a very, very healthy marketplace. We have not only a number of good radio stations in the marketplace which we're looking to compete with, but we have a number of fine television facilities in Buffalo. However, the marketplace is exceptionally strong. What we want to do is start to develop a business plan that will allow us to compete in the marketplace. We have good people, we have a new format, we have a wide range of acceptance, which I've been very pleased with, by the way, and I think that as we continue with our program, that our acceptance will continue as well.
Okay, what about the 24-hour aspect of broadcasting? There has been talk in the past about Buffalo WUFO, WUFO becoming a 24-hour station. What's the plans or possibilities of that?
Our plans in that area are very optimistic. We have had discussions in that area in terms of becoming a 24-hour facility, and I would have to tell you at this moment in time that our plans are concrete. However, I have made a pledge to the marketplace that we will explore this area with some vigor, but we have not made a promise. What we want to do is make sure that before we start to pursue that with vigor and vitality with the commission, that number one, we have established ourselves as a solid business in Buffalo. The advertising and sales promotion community are now starting to look at WUFO not necessarily in a different way, but in a meaningful way, because our program is geared towards success. We've been able to communicate throughout the marketplace and particularly throughout the community that what we want to do is develop a solid business, a business in this community that participates, that contributes, and contributes to the well-being of the community. By doing those things and by continuing to garner the kind of support that we see coming, we will be able to make an impression in the revenue community, here again, which I think is very healthy.
Keith, as the new program director at WUFO, what are some of your hopes and desires, and what do you see in the future of radio in Buffalo?
Well, I think now that we have gone through the changes that we've gone through, WUFO will go as close to the top as we were back in about 72, 73. And with the new staff that we have, or the rearranged staff, we're presenting a more positive air sound, and I think people really enjoy it. So I think we're going to make it to the top.
This is John Beard. If you missed News 4 tonight at 6, you missed a live report from Carol Chrissy on how Buffalo police and firefighters are teaming up to get a better contract with the city. You missed Rich Newberg's report on why Mobil Oil is closing its Buffalo refinery. You missed Marie Rice on how the Thruway Authority is cracking down on cheaters at the toll barrier. You missed an emotional courtroom scene in Los Angeles as Carol Burnett won her suit against the National Enquirer. And you missed Larry Hunter's progress report on Snorton Norton, the marathon DJ. Watch News 4 Update tonight at 11, and you won't miss a thing.
The new programming approach at Radio WUFO seeks to expand its audience appeal by offering a wider range of music. Program Director Keith Pollard explains.
In the past, WUFO has appealed more to the young, like the high school kids or younger kids. We want to get away from that. We're still going to give them what they want to hear, but also what a more mature person would like to hear. Like Ray had mentioned, Billie Holiday, a few oldies, something that they could relate to, more jazz, reggae, just a bigger variety of music.
And do you feel that this programming, this type of program, will enrich the musical taste of your whole audience?
I think so, because we're concentrating also on like crossover records, which are pop records, which are accepted by a black audience. And that's been accepted so far. People are really beginning to like that.
Okay. As a program director, what are some of your duties now?
Do we have a long time?
Okay.
No. Programming the music, different programs that we feature on the air, arranging those, programming those, and just keeping an eye out to make sure we're in the boundaries of Sheridan Broadcast Corporations and the FCC.
I see. What do you hope for as far as the 24-hour hopes of WUFO?
Everybody has been waiting for it for a long time, and it may come, and we're waiting for it. We're ready for it. We're definitely ready for it.
Are there any aspects still in the offing that haven't been announced that you'd like to see take place?
We want to get more into the Hispanic community. We want to make the station more of a general station where everybody could accept it, where it won't just be for a black audience or a white audience. It would be a general type station where everybody could accept it. And that's what we're aiming for.
But something that was not aimed for was a confrontation with segments of the religious community. Some have voiced displeasure with the new approach that eliminates the traditional Sunday afternoon religious programs. Manager Coleman has offered alternative times but so far his offers have not been accepted.
What are your feelings on that, and would you like to address that? Oh, very definitely. Our feelings on that and our approach on that is one of sensitivity. We have had a very good, a very strong relationship with the religious community. What we have looked to do in implementing our new plan and our new program is not necessarily alienate religion, which we think is important, but to reaffirm those relationships and to strengthen them.
Well, my feelings on the new approach at WUFO is that the general manager should have a chance to carry out his ideas. I think that the community has the right to disagree with them. I think that we ought to be able to come together and reason together. We ought to disagree without being disagreeable. Now, some of the stuff that he took off under the aegis of religious programming, I was very happy to see go. Some of those tape programs that were mailed in and were played for 15 minutes at a time, I really didn't think that that was helpful to the religious community. However, the local pastors in Buffalo who have been cut off for worship services that were going to the sick, the shut-in, I disagreed with that decision. And the local ministers who were playing religious music to those of us in the religious community who enjoyed that, I thought that those were essential.
We feel that by having an opportunity to expand our base, we've had to make some changes. They have been perceived as radical changes. However, I feel that as we continue to communicate with members of the religious community and let them know that our desires are common in purpose, that we want to be a strong business in Buffalo, we are entitled to that opportunity. We are entitled to have an opportunity to maintain strong relationships within the religious community. At this moment in time, let me reiterate, it's an extremely sensitive area. But I think there will be a time that we will find some common ground to look at our mutual needs together and to have some degree of prosperity together. We will continue to communicate. We want our community to know that we believe in religion, and we will do everything in our power to maintain those relationships.
Do you think there's room, though, like you say, for growth and development of meeting the needs and desires of both sides of it, from the economic point of view and the religious community point of view?
I think that there's going to have to be some talk, some discussion, some sit down. There is reason. Mr. Coleman is a businessman, and he is in radio stations or in business to make money. But radio stations must do more than entertain. Radio stations must inform, enlighten, inspire, motivate. So we have to go beyond just entertainment.
Okay, now that's an important aspect of your Operation Push show. In a capsule, how would you describe your show and the desire that you have for that program?
Almost to the letter, just what I got through saying. We try to be informative. We try to inspire, and hopefully we motivate. It's highly controversial and purposefully so, because many times people will not act until they are stimulated. We are a reactionary people, not an action-oriented. So my broadcast, purposefully sometimes, I design a show that will make folk angry. We encourage the community to come in and participate with us. We are possibly the widest listened to program in the black community. And we are humbled by that. But we want the community to come in and read poetry, and we want them to come in and dialogue with us. It's a community program, and it's wide open.
Reaching for the dream that's built tomorrow. Tomorrow. Well, another generation's coming on. I see America working harder every day to educate her people to live a better way. Wouldn't you like to feel another show at the wheel? If you help me join the line, you pull your weight and I'll pull mine.
The United Negro College Fund has helped blacks fulfill their potential in walks of life where they couldn't walk before, and your contributions have made theirs possible.
We want to give our best, please understand.
Please understand.
We're not asking for a handout, just a hand. I see America working harder and...
No one can do it alone. Please give to the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah, what's your name?
Damian Goodwin.
What's your opinion of the new approach at WUFO?
Well, I find like this, I find the community, I come home, and, I see they, impressing better, so, it really turns me on to see it like that.
Okay, thank you. Name?
Valerie.
Valerie.
Ralph.
What do you think of the new approach at Radio WUFO?
I think it's better than what they've been having, because now they're playing more music, different kind of variety instead of just saying more with top 45 or whatever it is.
Okay, anything else you'd like to see happen with WUFO?
No, I think what they're doing now is great.
Okay, thank you. What's your feelings on the new approach at Radio WUFO?
It's definitely positive and it's going to move Buffalo.
Why do you say that?
Because it has a whole new approach and it's appealing to a larger, broader audience than what it has been.
Okay. What do you think of the new approach at Radio WUFO?
Oh, I think it's quite fantastic. I appreciate the new uptrend in music. I appreciate the mixtures that they're trying to give you from all different walks of life, all different qualifications of music. I think it'll work out pretty well. We belong together.
Why do you think it's important? Why do you think it's important that? Why do you think it's important that there be a black radio station or a station doing what Radio WUFO is doing?
Because we as a race have something to say, and we can project it through music and through art and through other artistic abilities.
How often do you listen to the radio?
Every day, all day.
Okay, thanks. Okay, tell us again about the new approach you're taking.
Well, it's not a new approach I'm taking, okay? Ray Coleman asked me what I thought about a good jazz program on a Sunday afternoon. And I felt like Buffalo's been waiting for just this. I know we have jazz on other stations, but it isn't as unique as our jazz is. Our jazz is dealing with the roots. And most people that I talk to understand what I mean when I say dealing with the roots, in the sense that jazz came from good blackness. And other people have taken jazz and done other things with it. But since they've done so much with it, they've forgotten about the roots. So what I've been trying to do with my Sunday afternoon show that's dedicated to the community, basically, is that I want to bring back the roots and do the contemporary things as well as the old things, and do something that will remind people of the good jazz that they've been accustomed to here in Buffalo. The reconstruction, the revitalization, etc. in this area has eliminated a lot. As we all know, recently, the city has granted the Trofamador a spot downtown for jazz. That's where it's supposed to be. Buffalo's always been a good jazz town. And if there's anything that WUFO can do to work with the community, to give them the kind of programming that they know that they should have, and that's what Ray Coleman's about, that's what Carl Buckner's about, that's what Keith Pollard is about, that's what everyone that's working with WUFO right now, that's why we call it a rebirth. We know what the people really want. And Sheridan Broadcasting has been very nice to us to give us the opportunity to do it. Fortunately or unfortunately, I can't donate as much time to the whole spectrum of the new jazz era.
Excuse me, would you describe your program? I think that's an exciting concept.
The program itself is dealing with jazz as well as a community format. What we're doing is we're talking about the positive things, the nice things that happen. Other programs are dealing with controversial things. We don't have that problem. We're dealing with all the positive things that most of us know that are going on that do not have an outlet. I try to do a Duke's mixture of things. I do my jazz, and try to make people mellow and comfortable on their Sunday afternoon. Some of my friends have said what they've been doing with the format is turning the television set, the audio down, and listening to the good music and watching all the action. Well, I like that. You know what I mean? What it's really saying is that what we're trying to do with WUFO is make people more comfortable with radio.
Okay, and now, is there a call-in aspect to your show?
Yes, there is a call-in aspect. Right now, we're not putting those callers on the air, but what we're trying to do is talk to those people that do call and try to come up with a format that's going to be relative to the community.
Great.
And I think it's working. I really think it's working.
What do you think of the new approach at Radio WUFO, the new lifestyle radio, as they call it?
I like it. Okay, it's more lenient, more versatile, more wide open. Okay, whereas more black station, right? They limit it to not that much of music. Okay, it's more or less a black outlook on music. Okay, where you have a lot of white artists, yeah, you know, accepted in the black world too, as far as music is concerned. And such things as my cousin Keith, wherever he's at, I love that program in the afternoon.
Thanks a lot.
Young ladies.
What do you think of the new approach at Radio WUFO?
Well, I think it's a new awakening. The town is the right time for it, and I think it's a good change. Looking for big things.
Would you describe some of those? What you'd like to say?
Well, the format change means it's new music, not new music, but old music mixed with new music, new talent, young talent. And I think that's what the town needs.
What's your name?
Cheryl Marshall.
What do you think of Radio WUFO's new approach?
It's different. Yeah, it's a lot different than it was. It's nice.
What do you think is different about it?
Less talking, more music, more variety.
Okay.